Real with Ashleydawn. I'm Ashleydawn, and I want to get real with you. So I was just thinking and reflecting on different people in my life that at different times have said different things and have overpromised and underdelivered. They have said, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and then they haven't done it. Or they've said, I am this, I am this, I am this, and then when the rubber met the road, they weren't that. Or they've said, that they did this, and then they didn't. For instance, I've met so many people that say, oh yeah, I'm a member at that gym. And then when I go to the gym, and I'm like, hey, you want to go with me? And they're like, yeah, I really don't go. And it's like, yeah, but you said you were a member. Have you ever met anybody like that? It's kind of disheartening, and it makes you really not trust people. And I've really struggled with trust issues and believing people at their word when they can't walk the walk that they talk. And I always used to teach my preschoolers, say it and do it. Say it and do it. And I wanted to teach them at an early age, if they say they're going to do something, if they say they're going to help their friend tie their shoes, or they say they're going to help their friend paint, or they say they're going to do something, they need to do it. If they say, Miss Ashleydawn, I'm going to wear pink tomorrow, then they need to wear pink tomorrow. And no, it's not that big of a deal, but it's those little tiny decisions that form when you're young that become habits, so that when you're older, you don't say things you don't mean. You don't make promises that you can't deliver on. I've had several people in my life recently. This conversation got started because somebody asked me why I was single. And I just said that a lot of times there are guys that say lots of things, but then when it comes down to it, they don't live what they say they live. And that I just don't have time for it. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather just focus on what God has for me than try to figure out who somebody else is because they're not being authentic to who they are. On my TikTok thing, it says be fearlessly authentic. And even so, Wednesday, our Bible study was Be Real. These are Getting Real with Ashleydawn. I like to be real. I like to share what's going on in my life. Not because I think that I'm so perfect or I think my life is perfect, but I'm just trying to show you that just because you're a Christian, just because you're a Christ follower, doesn't mean you're perfect, doesn't mean your life's perfect, doesn't mean you're not going to struggle, doesn't mean that your faith is not going to get shaky at times. You're human. You can love Jesus all day long, but you still have to go through a human experience. And some days you're going to miss it. Some days you're going to fall on your face, and that's normal. And so I'm trying to normalize humanness, but also show that just because you fall down, you don't have to stay down. Just because you make a mistake doesn't mean that God throws you away. The world would like you to believe that, so that you just completely walk away from God and don't want anything to do with Him. But that is not the case at all. When you mess up, God pulls you in closer, as long as you're not running away from Him. Like the story of the prodigal son, the father went running to see his son. Why? His son messed up. His son spent all the inheritance. His son spent all the money. But his dad still ran out to meet him. Even though all the money was gone, even though he messed up big time, the dad still chased after him. Why? Because that's what God's love does. So I want to share that, and I want everyone to know, God loves you, and He sees you. When you mess up, He sees you. And one of the biggest things, on my channel is I just want to be real. I remember growing up thinking, that my mom and dad were amazing people, and they are, but they weren't perfect. They were very real and very open and very authentic. And if I'm being real, my friends' parents weren't. A lot of them went to church and said all the right things, but behind closed doors, when I'd go spend the night at their house, they weren't who they pretended to be on the inside. Not everyone, so I don't want my friends being like, are you talking about my mom or are you talking about my dad? No, I'm not talking about everybody, but there were a few that didn't live the way they claimed to live. And then I had others that did claim to live, that did live the way they claimed to live, that were authentic. Whether we were Sunday school, at their house, at supper, at a restaurant, they were the same person. So why do people pretend? Why do people say one thing and do another? Why do they overpromise and underdeliver? I'm going to tell you, insecurity. Insecurity makes someone believe that they're not good enough, so they have to pretend that they are. Ashleydawn, how do you know this? Because I have dated several guys that were insecure, that felt I was out of their league, or felt like they weren't good enough for me, or felt like if I knew the real them, if I knew the true them, I wouldn't be interested, right? My ex-husband, I'm very open about that I've been divorced. 2016. So yeah, 6 years ago. And the problem, everyone's like, well, what happened? Well, he pretended to be something that he wasn't. He said all these things, but he wasn't that person. And so, you know, when I asked him, why did you lie? He said, because if I told you the truth, I was afraid you wouldn't marry me. It's insecurity. Why did Adam and Eve hide in the garden? Insecurity. Why do we do stupid stuff? Insecurity. Have you ever been in a conversation and you inserted your foot in your mouth and you said something that you regretted immediately and that you wanted to take back? Why did you say that? Because you were nervous? Because you were insecure? Because you didn't feel good enough, so you were trying to fill the void of silence? Or it is silence, it's a void of noise, but you were trying to fill it with words, so you just spit out something in a panic. And a lot of times it's something that you can't take back, but you wish you could. Why do we do stuff like that? Insecurity. Why do we pretend we have more money than we do? Insecurity. We don't want people to think less of us. We don't want people to be mad at us. We don't want people to not be our friend. We want to be liked. We want to belong. At the end of the day, every single person on earth just wants to belong. That's why they get in gangs. That's why they get in these situations. Do you think somebody wants to be in a gang? No. Do you think somebody wants to do bad things? No. But they want to belong. And so sometimes the people that are doing the right things don't invite them in. So they're like, well, the people that are doing the wrong things are inviting me in, so I'm going to go over here. People want to belong. Look at Sarah and Abram and Sarai. They were insecure, so they took matters into their own hands. Mostly Sarah. Sarah was insecure. Sarai was insecure. And what did she do? Oh, Abraham, go be with my handmaiden. And what happened? A big old mess. What happens when we're insecure? What happens when we let our insecurities rule us? A big old mess. Ashleydawn, have you ever been insecure? Yeah, you betcha. And every single time I've let my insecurities dictate my words or my actions, there's been a mess that I've had to clean up at some point. Can we just be who we are? And, like, I get it. We all have insecurities. That's okay. You can have insecurities. But don't let your insecurities have you. When you're standing next to that girl, don't feel like you're less than because you don't look like her. You weren't created to look like her. Don't say you're going to do something that you're not going to do. If you don't want to go to that party, don't say you're going to go to it just because you're afraid of what people may think, because you're insecure that if you don't go to the party, that they won't like you anymore. If you don't do that thing for them, they're not going to like you anymore. Insecurity ruins so much. We do things we don't want to do. We say things we don't mean because we're insecure that if somebody knew the real us, they wouldn't like us. So we pretend. So we fake it till we make it. Right? That's like the big popular thing. Fake it till you make it. But why? Why are you going to... That was the road I needed to be on. I knew that. Why are you going to fake it till you make it? Why are you going to do that? Is that going to help anybody? Absolutely not. Is anybody going to be blessed by that? Absolutely not. I wonder if I can go here. I'm going to try it. We got to stop letting insecurity rule us. We got to stop letting insecurity convince us to say things we don't actually mean. If you don't mean it, here's the craziest thing ever. How about you don't say it? If you're not going to do something, don't say that you are. And here's the thing. If you think you want to do something, but you don't know how you're going to have the means to do it, Wait until you have the means to do it and then say you're going to do it. Or let the person that you're talking to know, listen, I'm not there yet, but I hope that one day I am. Instead of telling them, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then they're disappointed, they're let down because you didn't say, or you said all these things, but you didn't do them. How do you avoid disappointing people? Be who you are. Be 1,000,000% who you are. They like it, they don't, that's on them. There's a TikTok, it's like, it's a them problem. It's a them problem. It's a them problem, right? Some things are a them problem. But we put the weight and we put the pressure on ourselves because we're insecure. Because we feel, oh, if they knew, they wouldn't like us. Oh, if I was my full real self, they wouldn't like me. So what if they don't like you? Maybe that's not your person. Maybe you're not supposed to spend time with them. If they don't like you, there's probably a reason. And I'm not saying the reason is you. I'm saying maybe they're not supposed to be around you. Listen, sometimes God closes doors to protect us, and we're so busy trying to open those doors that we can't see that the whole time God was trying to protect us. Some relationships mean us no good, and God's trying to protect us from being in those relationships that, again, mean us no good. Sometimes God's protecting us and we're prying the door. We got a crowbar and we're prying a door that He closed open because we want to be friends with somebody. God knows more than we do. Sometimes that person we want to be friends with doesn't have good intentions. They would do bad things if we allowed them to have it. If we allowed them to have our time or our focus or our attention. We got to stop. I don't know where I'm going. We got to stop letting people dictate our future, our present, we got to stop. There are some things in life that God is trying to protect us from, and if we would just let Him protect us and we would just listen to Him, oh my word, we would be so much happier. We really would. But we're so busy trying to impress people. We're so busy trying to make people think we're better than we are. We're so busy trying to get their attention. Whether it's a guy or a girl, we're so busy. Let's stop being busy with the wrong things, with trying to win people's approval that really don't matter in the first place. How many of us go in debt to look like we got money on social media for people that we don't even know in real life? That's insecurity. Do you know what security says? Security says, I don't need this thing to impress this person. I'm going to be who I am, and if they like it, great, and if they don't, that's on them. I'm not going to force myself to do, to be, to buy, to say anything that is not true to me. Why? Because it would be doing a disservice to who God has created me to be. God has created you to be a certain way, and the people that He wants in your life will embrace you for who you are. Stop letting insecurity make you feel like you have to be something that you're not. Have you ever worn an outfit that you are not comfortable in? Can I tell you something? As a photographer and as somebody that's done pageants and modeling and show business and all this stuff, like, you can tell when somebody is not comfortable in what they're wearing. You can tell when somebody's faking it. You can. So if you're faking it for the gram or for people or for Facebook or for social media, I just want to let you know they can tell. You're not faking anybody. You're not like impressing anybody. They can tell. If you're wearing a dress that's 5 times too big for you, they can tell. If you're wearing a dress that's 5 times too small for you, guess what? They can tell. Stop letting insecurity define you. Guess what? I'm wearing a dress and I'm going to a mom prom. Why? Because I can. This is who I am. So I'm wearing something that I like. Did I think about how other people are going to feel about the dress I'm wearing? No, I didn't. Because I'm being authentic to me. You need to be authentic to you. Do not allow insecurity to make you say, do, act, wear something that is not true to who you are. And if you're somebody that makes empty promises or over promises and under delivers, break that habit. Because people aren't going to trust you. People aren't going to want to be around you anymore. People are just going to be like, well, they're a joke. Like, they're not honest. They're not real. they're going to think you're a joke. They're not going to, I think I'm going to park here. Excuse me. Excuse me. They're not going to think that you're real. They're going to be like, this chick is fake. She is fake as a, I don't even know. I was going to say a $2 bill, but those are real. I just want you to embrace who God has created you to be and not make promises that you can't walk out, not do things that you don't mean, not say things that you don't mean. Oh, I'm going to park over there instead. Yeah, I'm going to do that. God loves you. I love you. You are seen, celebrated, and loved for exactly who you are. And here's the thing. If people see you and don't appreciate you, God's showing you that those aren't your people for your circle. God's showing you that He has something different for you. He has something better for you. So how about you trust Him? How about that? How about you let God tell you who you should and shouldn't have in your life, and you let Him surround you with people? Okay? Okay. I love you. God loves you. All the good stuff. I was supposed to bring stuff, and I definitely didn't. Oops. Sorry, Shannon. Anyway, I'm going to go dance my little hiney off at the little promi thing. And I hope you guys have a great night or day or whenever I post this. Because I never post it the day of. It's always like a day later because I have to upload it, have to edit it, have to do like the little banner. But I wanted you to know it's okay to be insecure. We're all insecure about something. None of us are perfect. I have a scar in the middle of my forehead that I'm insecure about a lot. But am I going to wear a hat and cover it up all the time? No. Why? Because God has made me. I'm beautiful. So what? I got a scar on my head. Who cares? Don't let insecurity convince you that you're less than, convince you that you need to do something that you don't want to do. You need to make promises that you can't follow up on. And if you're somebody that's making promises, stop. Stop. If people get mad, let them get mad. Be true to you. Be authentic. Okay? I love you. More importantly, God loves you. You are seen, celebrated, and loved. I know I've already said that, but I'm going to say it till you believe it, sink it into your soul, your heart, and you know it. I'll catch you in the next one.